Today I'm going to be taking this very rare old Northfield pocket knife blade and I'm going to turn it into a pocket knife. Coming right up. Hello everybody, and thanks for coming back for another video. This is Dave and I'm glad you're with me. So I'm out here in the shop today. It's kind of late in the day. I didn't sleep well last night, so I haven't really been getting a whole lot done today. I did cut out a few pieces for my new interchangeable handle for the axes and knife blades, but I have this laying around and I thought I'd go ahead and get started on it. And I thought I'd go ahead and make a video and show you the progress. So if you haven't seen this before, I bought this on eBay. It's a Northfield Knife Company, blade that came out of a gentleman's collection years ago. And it's a vintage old, really cool blade that has this stud here. Like, I'm calling it a thumb stud, but it was like that out of the factory, unless it was a modification done at the factory, like a custom type deal, but it's very rare. I haven't found another one like it. I'm not sure if it's the full length of the blade or if some of it has been broken off and ground down over the years or whatever, but this is what I have. This is what I bought, so this is what I'm going to use. So the frame I decided to use is this one right here, and this is an old Western States pocket knife that had two blades, and both blades were in really poor shape, so it wasn't really worth salvaging. It was just basically a parts knife given the condition of the blades. But it's brass and nickel, and the reason I chose it is because the bigger of the two blades on that knife, this was the spring. It's a really hefty spring, and I sized it up and it's the exact same thickness as the tang of this knife, so it's going to work perfectly in this knife. This knife did have stag scales, but unfortunately they were broken and in really bad shape because it is a 100-plus-year-old knife, you know. So they didn't hold up too well over the years, and I really would like to go back with staghorn, but I looked through my stash and the only piece I have is this one right here, and it's just big enough for one scale. And I don't have the other half. I already used it for something else. And I have some pieces of bone that I save off of knives. And I thought I could maybe try and repair this one, but I don't think it's going to come out the way I want it to. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to go ahead and put ebony scales on this knife. And I'm going to put the shield back in that it came with right here. And I think it'll look really good. I think, you know, with the nickel bolsters and the ebony, they'll really contrast well and it'll look really nice. So my next step right now in this project is to go ahead and get all these parts cleaned up that I'm going to use, and get all that done. And then on the inside of one of these liners here, I'm going to engrave it that it's not going to ever be seen unless the knife's taken apart. You won't be able to see it. But I just want to mark it. I want to mark what this was. I'm going to put on here something like Western States cutlery, frame, original, and a genuine Northfield blade, and then the year 2025 of when I restored it. Okay, I got these scales fitting really good. I'm happy with that. I mentioned this before. A lot of times you run into this. The bolsters are actually not 90 degrees inside here. They're actually beveled a little bit. It's a very, very slight angle. I made this because my 8-inch disc sander, the original table on it was cast iron and it broke. It's from the 1940s. So I made another table for it and it doesn't tilt. So it just has a flat surface, 90 degrees to the disc. So I made this and then I just laid this on there to sand it. And that gave me the perfect angle I needed on the inside of these. And you just go really slow, take a little bit off at a time, until it just fits in there nice and snug. You can see it's holding in there, but it's not warped. When you first get it to fit, it'll actually bow it a little bit. But once it fits perfectly, I've got to take a little bit off the inside edges of that, which I'll just do with some 400 grit. But basically, they're ready to be fixed on here. And then what I do is I always epoxy them on first, clamp them up real tight in my vise, let them dry. Then I drill the holes. That way there's no risk of it slipping, and you make sure you get all your holes in the right place. This is the mark side of the knife because it has the hole here for the badge right here. I'm going to go back with this badge that was on this knife, and let me get these glued up and pinned. I might do that tomorrow because, like I said, I'm really tired. Didn't get much sleep last night. So I think I'm going to wrap it up for the day. My W looks terrible there. But wrap it up for the day, and then tomorrow morning I'll go ahead and get these glued up and pinned on, and then final shaped. We'll mount the badge, and then we'll put the knife together. And then once it's together, I'll do a little bit more work on the blade, polishing it up, and fixing up this edge a little bit. But yeah, basically we're on our way. I'm going to pin these on with brass. I'm going to use these 1/16 inch brass right here to pin the handles on, and then I'm using nickel silver for the main pivot pin and this bolster pin here. So I'll get back with you tomorrow. So I took one of the old scales that came off of this old Western States pocket knife, and just at a glance, it almost looks like it's at 90 degrees. So I pulled out my angle finder. Like I said, a lot of those bolsters you'll find, especially on older pocket knives, won't be 90 degrees on them. So to get a really nice snug fit, you have to do something like this or adjust your sanding table. So I've got them glued in place right now. And so this is what they look like right now at this stage. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and profile them. And I'm just going to use 80 grit to do that. But I'm not going to do any shaping at all. I'm just going to profile them. I'm going to leave this area here flat so that I have a nice flat surface to put on my drill press to go ahead and drill these holes so they're nice and perpendicular. So let me go ahead and get these profiled, and then we'll drill the holes, and we'll be right back. Okay, so I got all my holes drilled except for one. So the spring pin hole got a 3/32 size, and then these two scale retaining pins got a 1/16 because I'm using 1/16 brass rod to pin those on with. So I've got those done. The last hole I need to drill is right here, and that's for the badge. The badge I'm going to reuse is right here, and it still has the pin in it. So I'm going to reuse the pin that it came with, which is nickel. And for that, I need some really small bits. So I pulled out this bit set here, and there's those little, I have a number of really small bits in this set. I'm going to find one the right size for this pin. And it's a number 63. And I'm not going to use my drill press for this. I'm just going to chuck it up in this drill here. And there we have it. All right. My badge is pretty dirty and scratched up, as you can see. So I've got some old worn out 400 here sitting on top of a rag. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit real quick. There, that looks better. That should buff out nice. Okay, now that I have all my holes drilled in these, I can go ahead and get them shaped. And there again, I'm just going to use 80 grit to get them rough shaped the way I want them. And then we'll see what it looks like after that. And after shaping with coarse grit sandpaper, this is what they look like right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put the badge in there, and then I'm going to do a little market, and then I'm going to do a little light mortising around, and I'll try and show you that on camera. Let's do another test bit. Okay, I took a countersink and I chamfered these holes right here where the pins go just ever so slightly. And I'm going to go ahead and pin these scales on now. All right, folks, I got this pocket knife done. And I'm waiting for the wax to dry a little bit before I buff it off. And then I'll show it to you. But I want to take this opportunity to thank all my subscribers. For those of you that have been watching me for a while, you kind of know the backstory. And, you know, I started my YouTube channel to give back to the YouTube community. I'm trying to kind of pay it forward, so to speak. I've gotten a lot of really useful information off of channels on YouTube. And so this is my way of saying thank you, is start my own channel, pay back a little bit, pay it forward. Yeah, YouTube is one funny place, isn't it? You can have a video of a woman just showing her hands with some flour and water and oil making dough, and it gets 16 million views. And then I'll be out here in the shop all day working on something and trying to film it, make a video on it, and I'm lucky to get 1,000. But that's just the nature of the game. I didn't really start it to get huge or anything like that. Yeah, I couldn't be more pleased. I haven't been making videos for quite 2 years yet. I think I have somewhere maybe around 350 videos, something like that. And I'm really surprised at how fast it's grown, and it's all thanks to you, my subscribers, you people watching, leaving comments, and liking the video and all that. I think all that really does help the channel grow. Recently, I was enlightened to some of the things that YouTube does for some of the bigger channels. They provide them a mentor when they get over 100,000 and various things. But apparently, they're trying to push this memberships thing. And the members thing is a monthly bill that people have to pay to get exclusive content to a channel. And it's just another avenue to earn revenue off of your videos. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it, but at this point, I'm not doing any of the promotional ad things, sponsorships by people with products. Yeah, I haven't signed up for that, and I really don't plan on it. Who knows what the future will bring? I may change my mind down the road. But for right now, I'm just happy with, you know, as long as my subscribers keep growing and I get encouragement from you people watching. I love the comments. One example the other day, I'm sorry I can't remember your name, but he left a comment that he would like to see me put the wraps on shell-style handle scales. And that day I went out and made a video and posted it. I'm not saying that you give me a suggestion and I'm going to right away make a video on it, but I'm always searching for content. I want to make videos that shows things that you, the viewer, want to see. And if it's something that I'm familiar with and I can pass it along, pay it forward, like I said, so to speak, I would love to do it. So feel free to give me suggestions. I love the grab bag series. I'm having a lot of fun with that, getting a lot of knives fixed up doing that series. I did the Work Knives of the World series. I think that went on for a few months. And that's where I made an example of a knife for all the different regions around the world. Not all of them, but I did Japan and Finland and Sweden and Mexico and various places. And that was a lot of fun. I may revisit that Work Knives of the World series down the road. Yeah, there's quite a few other countries I didn't cover in those videos. So I may revisit that down the road. We'll see. But right now what's coming up, I have all these colonial blades that I bought off of Joel on eBay. And I just bought another batch. And I'll show them to you when they come in. But these are, one of you kind viewers said that to check out his hobo knives. I did, and I bought some because I really like them. They're the kind that separate, so you can use the fork and the knife at the same time. You don't have to open up the knife, cut something, close it, open up the fork, you know. Yeah, I know Colonial made hobo knives before that, but the kind that I've seen, they didn't separate like that. So I'm not sure that was some new style that they came out with and it just never hit the market before they went out of business or what the deal is. But I bought some of those, and I also bought some small slender knives. They're kind of like bird and trout knives. He said they're a sawbuck. Yeah. They're supposed to be in today. But I believe they're more like fish scalers. We'll see when they come in. And I still have plenty of the other Colonial New Old Stock blade blanks to work on. I am working on another one of these style, the interchangeable handle that takes the blade and the hatchet. I still have, I believe, 4 hatchets. And I've already got started. I've got the pattern cut out and all the pieces here. And I've got the brass liners cut, roughed out and everything. So I'll probably be working on this tomorrow and see if I can't get that, see how far I can't get tomorrow with that. Meanwhile, I think it's been enough time. We'll go ahead and buff this wax off and see what this knife looks like. In case you're interested what I'm using on this knife, it's Howard Feeding Wax. I like this stuff. So here it is. That's how she turned out. The spring is really nice, really strong spring. Has really good retention. The badge isn't perfect. They never are with me. I did get it in there nice and flush. And all the pinning went very well. And this has a nice half stop. Really good snap. Decent blade alignment. Yeah, so I like these ebony scales on it. There she is, folks. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I appreciate it. Love hearing from y'all. This was a fun project, and I'm happy to get it off the back burner and get her done. And I just love it. It's a one of a kind, folks. If you've ever seen a blade like this before, please let me know down in the comments, because I can't find another one like it. Really cool vintage knife. Well, it's 2 knives put together now. We've got an old Western States frame with modern ebony handles, the original badge, and an old Northfield Knife Company blade. So there it is, folks. Let me know what you think. Please join me for the next video. I hope everybody's having a great day. This is Dave. See you in the next one.